The way you test code in Dart is you simply run it. By default, it'll run as a Dart application inside of Chromium from your locally hosted computer, okay? It's not really a local web server, it's kind of Dart's attempt at that, right? It's your local IP. So when I hit this green button here, it'll actually run whatever currently targeted Dart file I have and run that as the application, looking for its associated HTML file. In this case, testproject.html from testproject.dart. You can see I can click it. It works, good to go. It's running from my computer's local IP in this particular directory of structure, okay? The root is where your project is, right? Where it's actually located, the project name itself, and then the web directory. It's not gonna run build, right? When you do that, it's gonna run your development processes. All your code is not compiled. It's simple Dart code being interpreted, okay? It might be JITted under hood, but that's not the point. It's running from your web directory. You can debug each one of those files. You can see them being loaded. If you actually open the sources panel or network and hit reload, you can see all your Dart code being actually loaded, downloaded. It's the normal Dart files. They haven't been minified or touched. And same with your JavaScript file to actually bootstrap it, okay? This is what they actually include internally. You can set breakpoints on each one of those in the IDE, not in the browser. They don't have that yet for this. But the point is, you'll notice that as soon as I open the debugger, the IDE complains about the debugger being closed. You want to attempt to reconnect. That's because this debugger and this, they can only share that one connection, okay? So sometimes you need to use this from a networking perspective or sources just to see what's really going on. Maybe you've done a production build, but you haven't actually minified your code, doing --no--minifying in the actual pub build, and you want to see it, debug it in the browser. That's fine too. You can do that. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to say yes, and it'll go back to debugging. So you can also, if you look here on this file, you can also right click and say run as JavaScript. If you run as JavaScript, it'll actually run the Dart2.js compiler and then actually convert all your Dart code to JavaScript, in which case it'll puke it out in your root directory, right? And it'll run it from there. So you can see it's running Dart2.js in the output. Output is kind of like the indication of what's happening. It's different from console output, okay? So you can see it launched in Chromium, but it's JavaScript. So it runs the same application. But if you look at sources, in network, let's refresh here. You can see it's actually loading the JavaScript version of my application, okay? And again, you can debug that as well, but for the most part, they don't launch the JavaScript in the debug context. Usually what I do is I manually delete the JavaScript files that are puked in a root, and I say delete.